The US is to provide air cover along with ground assistance to a Syrian militia group that's launching a major assault on the city of Raqqa to retake it from Islamic State. RT spoke to American personnel who were on the ground.
I'm from America, and I'm standing here south of Ain Issa. Today's the first day of the Raqqa operation. It is important that the EPIGA takes Raqqa, or at least that Daesh is kicked out of Raqqa.
A little earlier on, I discussed the situation there with our correspondent Ilya.
The official line has been for quite a while that the U.S. is in Syria to assist, advise, and equip their local allies. But judging by the images we have just received from Syria, the U.S. is on the Raqqa front line. And we also know that the American Air Force is providing air cover for this serious operation. Now, this alliance, in which it turns out the Americans are taking an active part in, also includes Kurdish armed groups and also Syrian rebel groups. Now, just to remind you, this engagement, which is, again, a serious one, comes without any invitation from Damascus. So technically, it is a violation of the international law. Now, Barack Obama promised as many as 16 times, one website counted, that there will be no boots on the ground in Syria.
Yeah, I remember him saying that many times. We all remember it pretty well. But if my memory also serves me correctly, there has been evidence, hasn't there, of US soldiers on the ground in Syria.
Well, just remember how the Pentagon officials had to explain why their troops were wearing YPG insignia on their shoulders. YPG is a Kurdish armed group. That was after photos that we can see right here were published from the front line just outside Raqqa. And also, we saw a video where U.S. volunteers actually said that they're there to, quote, kill Islamic State terrorists.
Let me tell you something. I'm from the United States of America, and I say kill them all.
They're not alone in their fight. People are volunteering to come here, leaving our jobs behind, leaving our families behind to come and help.
I love the YPG. I love my YPG brothers, my YPGA sisters.
And Ilya, surely the timing of this assault, it can't be a coincidence. You have the assault on Mosul shortly a few weeks back began. Now you've got this second front opening up in Raqqa, only, 2-3 days ahead of the US presidential elections, major political moment for the country.
Yes, this is a major military operation that Washington is backing within just weeks ahead of the votes. We remember 3 weeks ago this Mosul operation started. And there in Iraq, at least on paper, the Americans were only meant to be assisting and advising.
We're executing the Iraqi plan, and the Iraqi plan is that the only ones going in there right now are Iraqi forces. So that's the Army, that's the CTS, and that's the police. As far as I know, I have not seen any change in the plan with that. I have been doing public affairs for a very long time, and I don't like to use the word never.
You know this well-known phrase, never say never, but here's an interesting thing. Technically, to stick to the plan, U.S. officials have told Reuters that even they can redefine the borders of the city of Mosul to fit their purpose. But, you know, in the last week or so, reports have started emerging online suggesting that U.S. troops have been spotted on the front line, possibly even in combat missions. Here, you can see some of these headlines. Photos and videos have been posted online. We cannot verify their authenticity, like in this body cam combat footage that I'm going to show you right now.
You got it, 40 mils? 40 bag, get over here. 40 bag, get it over here.
So as we appear to be seeing in both Syria and Iraq, there are many different ways of having no boots on the ground. So the elections in the U.S. are just around the corner, and as the operation to retake Mosul is running into difficulties, they're getting engaged in another, even more serious one in Raqqa.
We spoke to several experts about the aims of the United States in the region and the timing of the operations in Mosul and Raqqa.
the Obama administration has no choice but to put certain elements there on the front lines in order to prevent, future catastrophes from taking place. And I think that we all remember what happened when the US trained some groups or some fighters to be a pro-American force. In the end, it turned out only 5.
I'll tell you something. What the Pentagon is doing, it's deploying U.S. soldiers on foreign land, and they are being predicted as and seen as enemy forces on the ground. What's happening is they send what they call in the media as consultants, but it cannot be a consultant. If you are a military man, you cannot go and consult. You have to train, you have to teach, and you have to be at the front line. They are there to fight.
They did speak about a necessity of providing certain solutions to the mess that has been created in the Middle East that could be used for the coming elections in a couple of days. Democrats require them to present a certain silver lining in the mess in the Middle East and the advances of ISIS in the region.